William Fly was captured and tried for piracy in the coolest, most nonchalant way ever. I became aware of this story through Villains of All Nations by Marcus Rediker. On July 12, 1726, William Fly and his pirate comrades were trialed and hanged at the gallows in Boston. While some of them were desperately repenting for their crimes, warning others against the dangers of piracy, as the judges had instructed them to, William Fly looked unconcerned, refused to give the anti-piracy spiel, and even went so far as to criticize the knot that the hangman had tied, insulting him for not knowing his trade. He proceeded to tie the knot himself. I want you to just imagine the shock in everyone's faces. He did not stop here. Fly continued his main character moment, arguing that he was not afraid to die and had wronged no man, all the while smiling at the audience, creating a spectacle around his own execution. How did Fly and the rest of the crew find themselves here? Well, they had been sailors once, under a British officer, whom they deposed and unalived on account of his abuse of the crew. Fly, being the madlad he was, did give a speech on his trial, but not on the dangers of piracy, rather on the brutality and indignities that crews had to endure aboard British vessels. He warned all British naval officers not to abuse their crews, to pay them a fair wage, and to treat them better, arguing that it was this abuse of power that turned so many to piracy. Fly's ending was not a happy one. His body was posted at the city's entrance as a warning, but his story survived and reached us, an episode that illustrates how piracy was not just about profit and adventure, but also about more boring stuff like working conditions and justice. Daniel Williams perfectly sums up what Fly's defiance meant. Unable to preserve his life, he concentrated on preserving his independence of mind by denying the significance of death and damnation. Using contempt as a weapon, he fought back against the forces that had condemned him by reveling in irreverence. I find myself melodramatically reflecting on this moment because of what it represents. Through the lens of history, it perfectly shows us how one single man could defeat an entire empire. They did take his life, but they never took his freedom.